So, anyways, I was drunk in a bar in New York, and you know when you hear that, when I was living in Manhattan, you know when you
Yeah.
hear that, well, you can make it here, you'll make it anywhere.
Yeah.
Do you? And I was like, you're right. I could go anywhere I want in the fucking world. I'm out of here. So
Yeah,
out of
and
here
you
right now.
left.
I just like grabbed my backpack and just got on a plane and moved to Iceland.
That's cool. I think Iceland is like one of the last frontiers, you know? It's so raw. I still haven't been there actually, but it's in my mind like this
Yeah,
mystical place.
totally.
And then you moved from there to Germany.
Well, for a while when I was in New York, I was living in Manhattan. Very sad. I was living in Manhattan in the East Village. So I would go on tour for some months, and then I would go to Iceland for 3 months. And one time I was on tour in Europe, I met this guy here, and I was just like, we should be roommates because we'd be the coolest people in Berlin. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, like a hetero.
Yeah. No, no, I know. Yeah, I know. I know, I know.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter if we're gay or not, but I'm just saying. I
No,
was
I
just
know.
like saying that. I was like,
Yeah.
we'll be the coolest people in this neighborhood for
Yeah.
sure. So we should just do that, you know?
That's cool.
He's like, okay, so because I was like, I'll just pay rent for a room in a house, get a bigger house,
Hmm.
because you're situated. And he's like, okay. So then I was living back and forth, and eventually I tried to move just to Iceland, and then their economy crashed in 2008. So I was just like, okay, I'm permanently here in Berlin then.
No, I know that's probably a good call. Plus, I think there's more going on musically, right, in Berlin?
Well, it's hard to say because people have their bedroom things and people have their bands and all this stuff. And there's the techno thing and DJ thing, but yeah, I think more bands play in Hamburg, and it's strange because there are bands, Cadaver and stuff, my friends. There is stuff, but I always wondered why more bands from Europe didn't move here. Part of it's there's no jobs, but then it's so cheap.
Yeah, yeah,
But a lot of people that I know of are move to places like Portugal where it's just butt cheap.
yeah.
But they're all going to get wiped out by an earthquake. So.
No one is safe in the world. At least nowhere is perfect yet.
Yeah, we have to worry about the Russians, and they have to worry about
Yeah.
earthquakes and fires.
And North Korea and everyone trying to get into a pissing contest, I guess.
Well, the North Korean thing, that fallout would be like, it just sucked for the seafood industry, I guess.
I don't even eat fish. I'm allergic, so I'm okay then.
I do.
Oh, okay then. That would not be nice, I suppose.
Yeah, all that stuff sucks, and it's really crazy right now. It's at a total fever pitch. All you have to do is like look at the newspaper. Like, it was cool because China today just said the best thing in the world. They said, if North Korea starts this war, we're not going to help them. If America starts it, we're going to fucking get in on it. So that's the best way to put it, right?
Yeah, I know, yeah. I feel like China just needs to say fuck off to everyone.
I know, but you know what? That was the best thing that they could have said this morning. They're like, you stupid idiots in North Korea, if you fucking really keep pressing America's buttons to where they're going to shoot you first, that's your problem. But no, I mean, if you fire first, because they're threatening, you know what I mean, or
Yeah.
whatever. So they said if you really actually pull some shit, like shoot something at Guam or whatever, or South Korea, then that's your own problem with Japan. We're not going to help you. But Russia's like, those guys are all serious. Russia's like, okay, we're moving all of our fucking rockets right to the border. So Russia and China moved everything.
Well, you kind of do. I mean, North Korea is crazy. Like, they don't even allow people really to visit, and if you do, you have to stay in special quarters, and it's,
No, but you know what? I know. But we just talked about everything's crazy,
yeah,
right?
you're
You,
right.
you, you just talked about corporations poisoning you. So it's like, get in line. Everything's crazy.
Yeah, I guess it's all relative. How
Yeah.
fucked up is it really? We can begin with talking about maybe your background, how you got into music. Were your parents really encouraging when you were a child? Did they foster a love of music?
My parents were separated by the time, when I was very early. Uh, I'm sure I think they sort of met, probably in the go-go dancing cafes.
Mm-hmm.
Surf was really popular from. I mean, that's where it comes from. So all the coffee houses used to have electric bands.
Yeah.
Before the mid-'60s and the riot on Sunset, there was a thing called the riot on Sunset Strip. About '66 or something, they passed a law in Los Angeles that all the kids had to be in by 10, and before that there wasn't, and so it caused a riot. All the kids went out on Sunset Strip and with pickets saying, "Don't tell us what to do," like the 13-year-olds and everybody, and the police cracked down, and there was a big riot on Sunset Strip. So that's when the law started to change, and music became associated with revolution.
Oh, okay.
So then all of a sudden they changed all the laws, and you couldn't have live music in the community center so much or in a coffee house anymore. It had to be in a venue with alcohol. So that changed the whole nature of music, and a big deal, because before that 13-year-olds could watch the Birds play and all that stuff, and after that you couldn't. You had to be 18 or 21 to see music happen. So everything became really regulated. Anyways, my mom was into music, but she was a mom too. Mm-hmm. I picked up on her records really early. Yeah.
And what kind of music was that you listened to?
It's like I was born in 1967, so Simon and Garfunkel, the Rolling Stones, just all the good stuff.
Yeah.
The Beatles, Rubber Soul, Revolver. I had all the records.
Yeah.
You could think any teenage girl, except that was her time. All those great records, she bought every one of them.
Oh, great. Okay. And right now, who do you think, which records are you currently listening to? Also a lot of 60s or more broad range?
Well, I listen to all kinds of stuff, but, it's really hard to describe, but I get on sort of this... Music for me also can be like an alpha wave generator. So many times my days, when I'm not stressed out on my mind or something, my day, the only way I could describe it is like a month long. Nothing much happens. Like, I'll come in and paint and mix and write and record at least 6 days a week in this studio. So I'm at the recording studio right now.
Okay.
So it's all the same, and I'll play music a little bit. I'll play some music, and it kind of puts me in this mood, into the same mood every day. See?
Okay.
But I don't really care about so much new stuff.
It's more of do you think that a lot of new bands are just in it for becoming famous and...
That's been that way for decades now, I think, for a long time. I mean, in the 60s, people were trying to, at some point, everybody wanted to be the Beatles because they saw the reaction. But when I started playing, I knew of people that, 3 guys that would jump into a van and make $90,000 a year, just playing 400, 500 seaters anywhere in America, just touring, the Minutemen or something. Some of these punk bands or something, and I thought it was cool if you could play a concert anywhere in America and have it full and everybody knew your name. Oh yeah, I know who those guys are. Like the Ramones, sure, I know who that is. Yeah. Like that was good enough for me. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As long as you're living on somebody's couch, like if you had roommates or whatever, and you lived in some old house where people were cool and you were doing your shit, you had some kind of life and you had a band, and to me that was like, whoa, that sounds like what I want to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
But the people in the industry were like completely different. They're like, oh my God, you're going to be the next Kurt Cobain, because they're like, you got to sell millions or else you're dead. And they bought up all the things. But I knew before that, so I was just always like, no, I'm going to own all my own music.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to give up. See, I already had a game plan. I was like, no, I'm not going to sell out, but I'm going to own my own music. Yeah. So no matter what I do, people are going to find out about me, and because I'm never going to stop until I'm dead. That's going to be worth something, because there'll be a continuum that I control, and nobody can ever say, well, that didn't sell enough, so I'm not going to put it out. Like in the way they reissue shit, they're like, oh, look, we found this record of this 70s woman, she's so great, we're going to reissue it now.
Yeah.
because she sold 14 copies or something. Like, I could just do that because I own it. Do you know what I mean? I don't have to wait for somebody else to rediscover it.
Yeah. No, I get it. Okay.
So, but I really set out to do that. So, for me, that's where it was at. But now everybody else, you ask about selling out or whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand that, a person like me, I can go back to every band that came out since 1988. I can tell you about every fucking thing that happened, and all of it's nothing. It doesn't matter how big fucking people are. I could just start singing songs and tell you about how big they were. Even fucking, it doesn't even matter. It could be something stupid like, you want to talk hip hop? Do you want to talk psych music? What do you want to talk about? Just talk about anything. Britney Spears. I mean, is she essential listening?
No.
The Strokes. You could not get away from those guys.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking cares about anything.
Yeah, I know. And do you think that...
Well, it's only people that have kept some control over anything that people are interested in what they might do. And now the Strokes are coming back into record again, so people will talk about that again. There's a book out or whatever. But you know what I mean? It's like, and it just goes on and on, man. Jesus Jones or who the fuck it is.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. All these fucking songs, man.
Yeah.
Or like Faith No More coming out in '89 right before Nirvana. You care a lot. And all this shit like every stupid Red Hot Hot Chili Peppers song or whatever the fuck it was. Just everything. It's just meaningless. Parade of meaninglessness that I never wanted to be a part of.
No, I get it. So do you think that if a band, signs a record deal or their music isn't their own, that they can no longer produce authentic music, that it's just sort of the agenda of the record company?
Whatever reason, I just found all these people that were always trying to tear down my flyers when we were coming up, every single band. I got basically everybody, all my peers' record deals in San Francisco because there was a nonstop feeding frenzy of people to come try and sign me that I wouldn't sign to.
Yeah.
So all the major labels were constantly there. So it'd be like Red House Painters for 4AD and just down the line of people. The Dandy Warhol's got a record deal at my show opening up for me. It's just like a million different things. And I would just be like, no. Yeah. But all these people that were so serious to like try and jump ahead of me somehow and say, no, I'm the one. It's like, I'm not dissing the Dandy Warhols, but their best thinking got them releasing a fucking live album a couple months ago. Yeah. That's not what I want to do.
No, you want to keep growing and doing, I guess, new things that you're in control of.
I mean, I did sort of do two weird things for audio. One time we came back from tour and I recorded things how they were, sort of, and called it something. And also we did play a show in Australia and I let these guys release it. But that wasn't like anything to do that, like, hey, I'm out of ideas, because I'm not. I'm working on a record with Tess Parks right now. I'm mixing,
And how is it working with her? Because I think in the past, you've mostly had your own group, and now you're working with another artist. Do you have how is it to work with her?
She's fine. She's great. The coolest thing about her is she's, depending on how I say it, like I yelled at her and made her cry because I rip her shit to shreds. She's like one of those talented young girls with a journal.
Yeah, okay.
Imagine like a talented 14-year-old girl playing acoustic guitar and having a journal. Imagine Jewel or some shit, right?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
With all these songs that are like way too long, and I'm like, no. I'm like, Tess, we need to write words for this. She's like, cool. She starts writing this thing, and I'm like, okay, we're only going to use 15 of those words, and we're taking out all the thes, and you're not going to say I, you're going to say you, because you're going to be singing to the people listening. Because I'm like, Tess, you are the shittiest fucking date in the world, man. This song is our date, and all you do is talk about yourself. Flip it around. Talk about the other person. I don't care if it's secretly about you, but, like, include the listener. You know what I mean? Quit talking about... Nobody cares about you and your relationship and you and this, somebody hurt you, and when you could flip all that stuff around. It gave an example, the Beatles, like, she loves you. She doesn't love me. They're not like, think of all the times they say, yeah, you. I want to hold your hand.
Yeah, always engaging with the audience.
Yeah, we just flipped it around because they're like, fuck, all we're doing is writing stupid love songs. Let's turn it around to include the people.
And do you think so? You provide more like a guiding light to her in a sense that.
Well, I rip it up completely apart because she'll go, okay, I'll say bring 25 songs, and she'll go, okay, I have another song, and it'll be E to A, and it's exactly the same. So it's just playing, shung, 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 and singing like Oasis over the top of it. I'm like, you can't do that because I just made a new song out of the last one. So then I'll think about it more, you know? Then I'll be like, we have to do something crazy.
Okay, so I guess you make it more innovative, and she.
Well, it's a collaboration.
Yeah.
I think orchestrally, and I play like 80 instruments. She doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, she's got a very monotone perspective, but it's all hers. So I think it would work really well in collaboration sense. I have a lot of respect for it.
Okay, and you guys, so you came up with an album in 2015, so this will be your second collaboration together?
Yeah, basically, we went on tour and we recorded more than the album, but now we just made up another album and more songs. So it'll be a bunch of singles in the album.
Okay.
Immediately when I met her, I encouraged her. I said, you got to do anything. I take women in the music business much more serious than they do. You got to fucking do everything you can think of. You got to be the Neil Young. You got to play with Crosby, Stills, and Nash. You got to go solo and play with the electric band. You got to, as Neil Young, you got to play with Crazy Horse. You got to play acoustic guitar. You just got to guest on people's records. You got to write songs and give them. Just do it all. Play live by yourself. Just go out there and just say, I'm a force of nature. You know what I mean? Don't get all hung up. Like, guest sing on people's songs and just do everything you can think of because you told me you want to, get your vibe out there.
And then, so you'll be touring with her again soon?
Maybe not.
Oh, maybe not.
I leave on Monday to go play with Jonestown Massacre.
Yeah, you're going back to the U.S., right?
Yeah. Everybody's got guns. Should I be afraid?
I think we should all be afraid constantly. But so are you looking forward to going back, or?
Well, we're playing in Las Vegas. I'm not crazy about Las Vegas.
Yeah. Have you had a bad experience there, or?
I'm just not into what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who the fuck wants to live in a desert metropolis like that? Of just gambling, Sin City, whatever. Like, why are you there?
Yeah, I mean.
There's fucking water. Why the fuck are you there?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, gambling, drinking, drugs, paradise for some.
Just all the fucking shit, right?
Yeah. Did Brian Jones influence you or his life in other ways, or was it kind of stopping at the title?
I'm influenced by him specifically,
Mm-hmm.
not by his actions,
Mm-hmm.
but I really like the way he approached music. First of all, he just took he was so into blues, he became it. He was like the first white guy to really become. And when he played harmonica or he played slide, that was the real deal, and everybody knew that in the UK. Out of all those guys, he was the real deal.
Yeah.
But then he approached that with everything. He played cello and marimbas on Under My Thumb. He played sitar and all those instruments. So he approached music in a very open way, the same way that I do. I found it very. I try and sing, so more than he did.
Okay. But how, I guess, so his approach to music really influenced you in general?
I've taken it way farther. I play drums, I play everything. But that's where that comes from. Because I was like, fuck yeah. Like, I've taken it way farther. I play a recording studio. I'm just like, I want to just bring this music to life. And that's where that comes from. Because it starts with a love of music.
Yeah. Brian Jones then had a great impact on you. And the 60s in general, I mean, a lot of your music with your band has, like with If Love Is the Drug, there's a lot of kind of keyboard interludes and different things that are really 60s. Is that purposeful?
Well, I mean, I started out experimenting on analog synthesizers. I mean, I taught myself how to play piano, but then I started having analog synthesizers too, because I could bring them to people's garages and make crazy noises. I guess would be the root of post-punk. So I could just go, and I would detune guitars and stuff, you know, in my teenage bands. So we were into like making some crazy music.
And how do you think, so then, as you've gotten older, has your creative process changed with music?
Isn't it crazy? I'll just be like 50 in 18 days or something. I don't even look 50.
No, but I mean, I guess it just depends on how you feel.
No, the only thing that's changed is I work consistently with a really great engineer who just snuck past us, Andrea.
Okay.
I have a guy named Fab. I mean, I can engineer. I write and engineer stuff by myself too, but it's just we produce. You know what I mean? It's like I have a way of working, so she knows that, and she can clean up the messy bits. Because I just have everything set up in my studio all the time.
Okay.
You know, like it's filled with instruments. If I just walk next door, it's just like microphones everywhere. You know, it's a recording studio. Except I don't use a glass window in the mixing board because I'm in the room. I just use a desk with the other thing on it. It was just channels. But you know, I tried different ways. I tried living like the monkeys with my band in the house. You know, I tried living in warehouses. I lived by myself with a recording studio, and I find that just having a whole other house, I build them in houses now. I make them like houses, and I find that if I live in a house and I go to the other house to work, that it's better for me.
Okay.
To compartmentalize my life.
Yeah.